Hey people, welcome back. I want to go over your assignments for Tuesday through Friday with you. This week is the last week that I'll give you kind of weird dates, like from Tuesday to Friday. Moving forward, I'll give you Monday through Friday assignments. That way, it's a little more predictable. I know it's been kind of weird just because we haven't known what's going to happen. But now that we've gotten our news that this is how we're going to do school through the end of the year, um, I think that's what it's going to look like. Again, that may change if I find out that there's kind of a better way to do it, or if you guys need more time or something like that. But after this week, hopefully I'll have that so that on a Friday, you submit your assignments, you can see what's going to be due the next week, and then we can go from there. All right, so let's take a look at your assignments for this week. The class website. Here you'll have, it looks a little funky. I'll fix this. Okay, so there's your class materials for this week. It looks just the same. Now that you guys have figured out how to use this document, I'm going to keep doing it this way unless you come up with a better way. So if you have some good ideas, let me know. All right, so our learning overview for this week, there are 3 major assignments that I want you to be working on. The first assignment is the journals. So between today, Tuesday, and Friday, April 3rd, you're going to do 3 journal entries. You get to pick which days you do them. And then just like usual, all those journal prompts will be here. So you've got those 3. Something I've been noticing is those of you who are clearly setting a timer and working for 7 or more minutes, you're writing great journals. So I want you to keep that up. I can tell that some of you are writing for more time and your journals are so interesting to read. So please keep that up. If you're writing like a sentence or 2, then I want to recommend that you actually set a timer for yourself and write for the whole time, because unless you push yourself to write that whole time, it's going to be really hard to keep doing these assignments. If you need help with that, just let me know. Sometimes what can help is if the big question, you're like, I don't know what to write about that. Think back to when we had all those levels of questions, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Think of some lower level questions that you could answer. Like, for example, how has your daily routine changed? You could ask, like, what do I do when I wake up in the morning? What do I do before I start my schoolwork? What do I do when I'm done with all my schoolwork for the day? Stuff like that. If you can think of some of those questions for yourself, that's a really good way to then push yourself to do some more writing for those journals. Okay, enough about the journals. So again, you'll write those 3 entries and you'll submit one to Blackboard. If you want to submit them all, you're more than welcome to, but I'm only requiring 1. That means in total, you will have submitted 2 journals by Friday. One from this week, so one that was due on Monday, March 30th, and then one that will be due on Friday, April 3rd. You're still keeping all the journals, you're just only submitting the one you want me to see. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes some of those journals might get a little personal and you may not want to share it with me, and that's totally fine. That's why I want to give you the option. Also, maybe some of the questions are really engaging to you. You have a lot to say. I want to see those ones that you have a lot to say about, because that helps me get an idea of what's going on with you. Okay, the next assignment has to do with your Romeo and Juliet Director's Journal. So let's head down to that slide. The Romeo and Juliet Director's Journal this week, I have 2 articles linked in this folder. So right here, you're going to have a link. You're going to click that. You're going to read the articles and then answer these questions. When you're done, you're going to submit one of those. So you're reading 2 articles, you're doing 2 journals about them, but then you're going to head over to the Director's Journal on Blackboard and you're going to submit them there. If you need directions for how to submit on Blackboard, you can click this link here. All right, and then the last assignment for this week, due on Friday, is doing a prompt breakdown. You might remember that last quarter, before we did our first writing assignment, we looked at the final writing assignment prompt. so that as we moved along through the quarter and did all of our learning checkpoints and did all of our writing formatives, you could see how those would be building up to the final writing assignment. Now, it's possible this could change a little bit because initially we were going to do presentations in class. So this might shift a little. I'm just putting this prompt in front of you so that you have a good idea of where are we headed with the ideas of this unit. So just like the last time, you'll copy this into your notebook. You'll annotate the prompt, right? So off the side, I'll be writing my responses using all these questions, right? This is going to help you think about that prompt. And then you're going to take a quiz. So don't panic. This isn't like a math quiz. This isn't like a school city quiz. This is a quiz that's just going to help you make sure you really understood it. I set it up so that if you get a question wrong, that doesn't mean it's going to go in the grade book as, oh no, you get a bad grade. But what it will do is show you, oh, you misunderstood the prompt. And then when you're done the quiz, it'll show you the right answers. So when you're done the quiz, make sure you check your answers so you know, did I really understand what this assignment was trying to get me to understand? Okay, those are the only assignments you have for this week. You may notice that's not a whole lot. The reason I didn't give you a ton of work this week is because I know some of you are going to need to be finishing the Romeo and Juliet assignment of watching the play and taking your director's notes. I also will be getting your director's notes grades back to you so that you can see if you did your journal exactly right or if there are some things you need to add. So I'm making the workload kind of light this week so that you can incorporate some of those revisions if you need to do them, or you can use the extra time to finish up the assignments from last week. This is important to me that you keep yourself, like you stay aware of whether you're really done or not, because next week, starting April 6th, we're going to start some assignments with Romeo and Juliet. You'll be doing some comparing and contrasting, thinking like a director, even, oh my gosh, don't freak out, a little bit of acting. So I want to make sure that all that's taken care of this week and your notes look great and you can really use your notes to move around in the play and talk about the play. So that next week you're not like, oh shoot, my notes aren't good enough, so I'm having a really hard time answering these prompts. If you have questions, if you want to see an example, I'm doing these assignments along with you. So if you need to see an example, just let me know, and I would be happy to share my example with you. If you need some prompting questions to know what to write about, let me know. I'm happy to give them to you. I don't know what you all need because I'm not seeing you every day. So unless you communicate with me, I don't know what's going on in your head. So shoot me a message on Remind, shoot me an email. Let me know what you're thinking or if you need help. Okay, I think I've explained everything. If you take a quick look at the assignment checklist, same as always, it's broken up by assignment, so you know what do you need to do for each assignment and what do you need to turn in for each assignment. The last piece is here. If you don't have an independent reading book and you want to do some reading, that's a great way to continue working on your skills and not have to look, at a computer and be doing a test all the time. So I would recommend doing as much reading as you can when you have some free time. It's a good way to calm your brain down. If you don't have an independent reading book, our school library has ebooks. So basically any book you could check out in our school library and a lot more we have as ebooks. And all of you can do that for free with your student login. So those directions are down here. And if you need any help, just let me know. Okay, I know this is kind of a long video. It's a lot of talking. But I wanted to make sure all that made sense to you. Keep looking out. As soon as I get more information about if and when school is kind of going to change because of knowing that we're not going to go back physically, I will post a video or a note or something to make sure that I communicate that information. I miss you guys very much. I hope you're all being safe and that you're still making some progress in your skills, even though things are different. And ultimately, what matters to me is that you are okay as people. If we have to make up some skills a little bit next year, that's what'll happen. But if you're not physically and mentally and intellectually and emotionally okay, that's never going to happen. So keep in touch if you need something and take care of yourself. Do some things that make you happy. so that at the end of the day, you are okay. All right, I miss you. Good luck and keep in touch.